How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Unknown here, and welcome to Cosplay Con Talk, where we basically discuss everything pertaining to the cosplay community and conventions. I'm joined here by Chris Munday for another segment on convention discussion, and we are going to be talking about Sundial Bridge Comic Con, which will be in Redding, California in October. How you doing, Chris?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. So, what year does this make for Sundial Bridge Comic Con? I've actually found out about this from my mother the other day.
Yeah, this is actually going to be the fourth year. We had skipped 2 years though, the last
COVID.
2 years because of COVID and some other things that happened where we just couldn't go through with it.
It makes sense. What made you want to come up to have a convention in Reading? Because I've never heard of any conventions in Reading before.
Yeah, the about 5, 6 years ago, they had a Comic Con. I would say Comic Con, at our flea market, and I was really excited to go. So I went, and it ended up being 5 or 6 tables throughout the flea market, all spread out. And when I left there that day, I was like, well, "This is ridiculous."
It was kind of lackluster.
It was terrible. They had nobody. It was a couple local artists and a few people cosplaying, and I was like, if this is what we have to look forward to, it's not right.
I,
And
I
I was
know.
like, go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
And I was like, maybe somebody needs to step up and try to do this thing right. And I went to the local comic book store and I sat down and talked with the owner, and she agreed with me, and we just started moving the ball forward from there.
Nice. Yeah, I know most cons they'll like start off small with no guests, a few artists, or even like it sounds like that's what it was, but it seems like since then it hasn't picked up, and you kind of like picked up from where they left off at.
Yeah, they did that. It was a 1 year thing. And I was just so disappointed. I was like, okay, somebody's got to do this. Somebody's got to do it better, and I might as well. I'm a retired military, and I have a lot of time on my hands, so it worked out.
Nice. Where was the con's first appearance at? Because I know this year it's going to be at the Red Lion Hotel, which is a pretty freaking hotel in Reading.
Yeah, the first one, it was at the Holiday Inn, which the Holiday Inn is realistic. It's right next door to the Red Lion, where we had the first one, and that was pretty good. I had a few discrepancies with the service from them themselves and the way they ran their convention area. So we actually, the next year, we went to our fairgrounds, and I really didn't like that.
Oh, when? How come? I know the fairgrounds is pretty big though.
Um, the fairgrounds is actually about 12 miles, 15 miles from Reading itself. So it was a bit of commute for everybody. The hotels we stayed in were in Reading because they're nicer hotels. Um, it, I think it drew a different crowd because it was so far away, and not as big of a crowd either. Some people just don't want to travel very far.
It makes sense. And where you guys are at now, it's pretty good. I'm sure one of these days you're hoping to get the Reading Convention Center.
Oh, I would love that.
Because Sundial Bridge and the Sundial Bridge is really like right next to the convention center.
Right, and then they have the Sheraton Hotel, which is right across the street from that, right next
Oh,
right
that's
next to
right.
the bridge. So they actually do a lot of stuff there now, and maybe in a couple years we can.
I know the convention. I know the convention center is not cheap though to rent out for a con.
No, it's not at all, and that's what's holding us back. We are mostly sponsor driven, mostly driven by table sales and ticket sales. So it's hard to make something like that happen. You know, Especially in a fourth year con.
Oh yeah,
Um,
no. I mean, a bunch of cons that are in their first few years start off small, and then once they get the recognition and everything, then it's like, okay, now it's time to move up the location ladder for a bigger and better place, have more guests, artists, and whatnot.
yeah, I always run out of room. We always have more vendors than I can fit. So it kind of sucks because we could be a lot bigger, I think, and the convention center would be perfect.
And
Obviously,
not to mention, you got the stage in the convention center, which would be great for panels and cosplay contests.
yeah. And then, people can take their cosplay out on the bridge and out there kind of in the forest area and do their pictures and all that there.
I
And they're
mean,
just a walk away,
oh
a
yeah,
5 minute walk.
you got the bridge, you got Paul Bunyan Forest Camp,
Yeah.
and you got
Yeah.
like that, and you got a big field, like a big decent sized field near the convention center as well.
Right. No, it's a great area. And one of these days I hope to get there.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, again, the point of this is to let people know who don't know about the con know about the con. So what's it been like though running the con for the past 4 years minus 2 COVID years?
Yeah, well, I actually had planned the con and we came up about a week before the con last year and had to cancel it. So I didn't go through with the con, but it was the same amount of time planning it. It's hard, it's stressful, especially in a small con like this, in a smaller city. You got to hope you're going to make your money, and you hope that it's worth doing again. I'm lucky because I am retired military, so I have a lot of time and I'm on a fixed income, so I know exactly what I can and can't do. But it is stressful. You hear probably 50% no and 50% yes from people. So you do have to get used to rejection on people telling you no, especially, bigger time artists who don't really want to mess with smaller cons.
I mean, you're getting Chris Marinan, and he's known for going to supporting small local cons.
Yeah, we got this year. We have Chris Marinan, we have Sam De La Rosa, Walden Wong, and then I'm still working on some others. And Sam De La Rosa, like he cons every weekend. It seems like and he's all over the world. He's very famous for his Venom art. Venom Lethal Protector #1. That's all.
Oh, sure. Oh, so you got like a Marvel comic book artist, and you also with Chris Marinan, Marvel, DC, Dark Horse. So I mean,
Oh yeah,
you got some heavy hitters coming to the con.
yeah. Especially Walden too. Walden Wong. He's big. He has at least 1,000 credits under his name. So yeah, you can look him up. He's got a lot of work, and he's worked with a lot of the best inkers and pencilers. So
Nice. How did you manage to get these guys for the con?
It's just all about putting yourself out there. It was it,
I
it
know
really
that.
is.
I know that for a fact. I can't argue with that. I know that for a fact. You have to push, and hopefully someone recognizes you.
Right. It especially that first time being a first year con, you ask these guys and you're like, oh my God, please just somebody say yes to me so I can have one Marvel or DC artist. And luckily, Chris Marinan said yes the first year. Ethan Beavers was there our first year, and he has worked for Cartoon Network comics, a lot of Samurai Jack and other stuff like that. And then
Nice.
we had we had a movie star that lived local, Jay Underwood, and you might recognize him from the '90s. He was the Boy That Could Fly TV series from the '90s.
Doesn't ring a bell, but I think it's nice that that cons, especially small local cons, mean like Metal Art Comic Con, they had an Oregon local, Jordan Redmond, who played in as Little Angel and Hocus Pocus.
Right. Yeah, it's great, especially when they agree to show up. And they're really nice usually, especially the local ones, because we're a smaller area. He's a small town guy, and was very willing to do panels and interviews and all that stuff. So it was good. But I've been very lucky in getting talent. And again, you do have to get used to the no's, but when you hear those yeses, you got to take advantage of those.
Oh yeah, no, because there's a chance you may not get the half maybe if you decline.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing is, I've had all those guys return. And now anytime, like I asked Chris Marinan and he's like, yeah, whatever you want, just tell me the date. Same thing with Walden Wong. He was like, of course. So, it's nice to hear that.
I imagine later down the road you'll be able to get like other names for convention, other well-known actors for yeah, for future cons.
Yeah, it would be great. For them, it's all about the price. Um,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
the guarantees are crazy sometimes. Um, so we shoot for those B and C level actors,
right.
the A group is
They're like those are like for meant for like San Diego Comic Con
yeah,
and Anime
that's out of
X.
my universe. That's way out.
I
Yeah.
mean, even like the B list guests are like the best to have because a lot of people either recently seen their movie or grew up watching their stuff, so it's always good. And those are the type love to come to the con, not just for the money, but to like say, hey, remember me? I was in your so and so favorite show or movie.
Right. Not only that, they were a little more appreciative too of their fans. I would like to say. I'm about to head to Rose City Comic Con here in about a month or so, and as a guest, and
Oh, you're a
I
guest there? Nice.
I'm sorry, not as a guest, as in like I'm just a Patreon going in, and you know they have so many of these big stars there, but
I mean, I think
you
what
have to pick and choose.
Jim Cummings, I think, is going to be there at Rose City or one of the cons up there in Oregon.
Yeah, they got Sean Austin coming from Lord of the Rings. They have Dwight from The Office. Rainn Wilson's going to be
Yeah,
there.
it's the A and B listers.
Yeah, so um, those ones, it's too much and it's too hard to get them there. They want the first class everything too,
Oh
and
yeah.
for us smaller guys, it's just you can't afford it. So
I mean, I'm sure you can afford some like the guy who played as Dwight. I mean,
yeah, I haven't found anybody that actually represents them, and that's another problem too. Is you have to find these people's representation because I it you can just Google stuff, but you don't always get the right information
mm-mm.
when you're looking for some of these stars and some of these artists. So it's a guessing game too. I'm going to throw a message out there, and hopefully this is you know, the right Facebook page or the right Instagram page. I'm actually reaching out to somebody, not a fake page or a fan made page.
Right. And there are those guests who don't have the blue check mark, but if you like go through their social media and everything, I mean, that's like when I try to look for guests too, I like make sure it's like, are they okay, yeah, they're legit.
Yeah, yeah. So it's been fun. It's been stressful. Um, I've met a lot of cool people. I've got to hang out with artists and stuff that made comics that came out when I was a kid.
Nice.
That's been awesome.
So I know I asked this. What was your guys' very first location for Sundial?
It was the Holiday Inn right next to the Red Lion
Yeah,
there.
and what was the size for that one? Like, how many people were you able to get? Because I know when people hear Comic Con, a bunch of artists are going to want to jump on the opportunity to just to sell their stuff.
Yeah, that first year, I think I roughly got around 1,500 people through the door.
That's I mean, anything above 1,000, honestly, like
Yeah,
anything 500 and above is really good. I know there's a con that just had their first go this year in Klamath Falls, and they had like over 2,000 people.
yeah, I heard about that, and I was really surprised because they're even smaller city than Reading.
Again, I think just people hearing that, I mean, California is notoriously known for cons like San Diego Comic Con, Anime
Right,
Expo,
and they're
so
everywhere. Yeah,
anytime someone will hear about a con that's in their area, they'll jump on it because a good chunk of the cons that are well known in California are expensive just for one day.
yeah, yeah. It's the pricing is kind of crazy, and that's another subject. Pricing your tickets. What's going to be worth it to the fan? What's is $10, $20? Is that worth a 1 day con? Like what's the value of your con? Who do you have there? Are they going to be happy walking around? Let's say your average fan, brings 40 to $60. If your ticket's $20, you're leaving $40, and that might not be enough. You know,
No, I get that. How much are you charging, by the way? I kind of remember briefly seeing that you like front door. What was it again?
It's $10 for adults, and then children 10 and younger are free.
Nice.
Um, and I fought with that price too, being a one day con, but
I mean, $10 is really not that bad.
yeah,
If you really think about it, $10
right,
for you know some cons will, some of the somewhat semi well known will have like, you can go on their website and you can pay like $30 online, and when it's like 50, 60, 70 at the front door.
right. No, it's crazy. And mine's flat. We don't do that. Mark it up at the door or anything. It's $10 pre-sale, or it'd be $10 at the door either way. Um, but the what I was getting back to is, everybody costs, even these Marvel and DC artists, they all cost. Everybody has. We got to get them there. We got to get them in a hotel. We got to feed them. Some of them want per diem, some of them don't. Um, and you got to give them a table, so that's vendor space that you could be selling. None of this is free, and
Oh
none
no,
of it
oh
is
no,
cheap either.
I know. I mean, like, I just can't imagine, like, even small time cons when they get like a B-list actor, like it's gonna cost. It's not gonna be cheap. It's not gonna be expensive. It's gonna be somewhere between. It's like you said, hey, can you afford him for the whole day or half the day, or like for multiple day cons? Can we afford from all these days?
Right. No, yeah, there's a lot of hidden cost, and I think a lot of people don't realize that when they're walking into a con. They just see, that one day show, and they see the tables and they see it all set up, but there's so much money in the background, and even just renting the convention itself in the hotel, getting the hotel rooms. Um, it adds up. Even a one day con is priced. My average a one day con is at least $6,000. And
Damn.
that's at least. We're not even talking, like change, or
Not to mention the space of the Red Lion Inn. Speaking of, where exactly is this convention in the Red Lion Inn going to be held at?
um, you mean like the address?
No, the con itself. Like, what part of the building is to be like the main part of the building or one of the rooms or?
Okay, so it's they have a convention area. They actually have a convention room. And it's man, it's roughly 8 to 10,000 square feet, I think.
I'm
I
looking.
could I could be wrong, yeah.
I'm looking at it right now, man.
It's fairly large convention area, and it's off to the right of their hotel, but it's connected. So everything's right there. And they even have a few other separate rooms where I do the panels and I do the cosplay contest, which we're not having this year. But
Oh, you're not doing a cosplay contest this year?
no cosplay contest this year, just because we're still in that last bit of COVID, and I don't want to try to pack a bunch of people into a smallish room.
No, I get
Um,
that.
we will have one or two panels, because usually they don't get too packed up during the day though. But yeah, it's a good space, and they're very accommodating. I've been very happy with them, and they usually take care of me while I'm there.
Nice. Now, I'm trying to find what the convention room looks like on their website, but I'm not
Yeah,
seeing it.
it's a fairly large room, and then connected to the fairly large room is an offshoot, and that's about half the size of, excuse me, that room. So it's pretty big. I usually get about 40 vendors in there.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and I mean vendors as in like you and my special guests. So about 40 different vendor special guest type people in there.
That's
I,
a good couple hours to walk around and see what's there. And
oh
yeah,
yeah, if you're taking your time and doing it right, you can be there for a while, and there's plenty of space to just mingle and take pictures and all that stuff too. So
nice.
yeah.
So, and you said the previous before this one was the fairgrounds?
No, we actually, this will be our second year at the
Oh,
Red Lion now.
okay.
It went the Holiday Inn, and then the Fairgrounds, then the Red Lion, and then 2 years off, and we're back at the Red Lion.
So this is your third year technically then Wait, what year did you start in? I forgot to ask that.
That's okay. Um, we did the Holiday Inn, then we did the Fairground, then we
Okay.
did the Red Lion, and then this is our 4th year back at.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And is the red line gonna be permanent, or do you plan on moving to a different location after this con?
It'll be permanent for now until I can afford the convention
Yeah,
area. So
I know. I mean, I know getting the convention center again, like we talked, is not going to be cheap, but I know the space would be nice. Not to mention, again, there's literally a stage amphitheater
yeah,
in the building itself where you can have cosplay contests, panels,
yeah,
have cosplay skits, whatever, you name it,
yeah,
or
right.
even like hire a DJ for like a rave thing.
Yeah, if I can get in there, we can get a lot bigger, and I can do a lot more stuff too.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
it would be great.
And the convention center is like what, 2, 3 stories?
It's at least 2. I know that.
So yeah, you have like the first floor and second floor, and then again the main, yeah,
Yeah, no,
big
it would be
room.
awesome. Yeah.
Nice. Um, Mind giving a shout out to those who have helped, make this convention happen, if you're able to.
Yeah, which has mostly been my family. My family comes out of the woodworks from a few different areas, and they fly up and help me out. I had a co-founder, and unfortunately, the reason we canceled last year is because she passed a week before the con.
Sorry to hear that.
It was complications with COVID and some other stuff, and she literally passed a week before the con started, and I felt I felt that we should cancel doing it last year.
That makes perfect sense. You don't want to. No, I get it.
Her name was Michelle, but she was my right hand man, or right hand woman, I should say. And she helped me out a lot. Unfortunately, I don't have that help anymore this year, so I've been looking for it, for volunteers and stuff like that. So we'll get those spaces filled, but she definitely was. She was the co-founder, and definitely helped me a lot. So
I mean,
Michelle in heaven, she gets the gratitude and the appreciation. So
now this won't be out till October, so I know it'll be a ways. Mind telling me who else you're trying to get or may potentially come to the con?
yeah, I actually met Brian A. Prince last week at
Predator, yeah.
Predator. He plays Predator.
He is a tall SOB. That's all I have to say. I'm
Yeah,
6 foot, I'm 6'2". He's 6'10". So
yeah,
me and him are like,
yeah. We were definitely looking up when we were talking to him. So I'm trying to actually get him because that was really cool. He had really awesome prints on his table.
and his artwork is really well done too.
Right, and he did his own artwork for one of his prints, and that was really cool. We got one of those. So I'm trying to get him, and I'm talking to his representative right now, and it looks like it's going to be it's a good possibility.
Nice.
And I'm always looking for another Marvel or DC artist. I don't know if I'm going to add another artist. I'm trying to get one movie star. If I can't get a movie star, then I'll add an artist. But special guest wise, we're good. We have a guy, Alan Carnes, and he's from the local area, and he does prop work. He did a few props for a Superman movie with Henry Cavill, and
yeah, I was looking up that he's done like special effects work and everything.
yeah. And he's fun to have. He's got a lot of fun. Yep, that's him right there. Yeah. He's got a lot of fun stuff on his table and a lot of interactive stuff. He's a special guest too, but he's right there from Reading also. So we got special guests, are not just big name people. They are also locals, and some of the bigger local people that try to put out comics here. One of my other guests that I announced already was Kenny Aiken, and he puts out a comic called Apex Cybernetic Owl. and it's a pretty good book.
Nice.
Yeah,
See,
and
it's nice to get the local artists, but they're you still consider them a special guest because they've been doing this for a long time.
yeah. Well, I consider anybody who's pushing comic books and doing it a special guest. Like if you're going to put yourself out there and create and you're getting it done, then you should be recognized for that. And
Oh yeah.
especially, he's considered. I consider him a local town hero by doing that. I mean, in my eyes, he's a super nerd, and that's not a slang. That's not a bad slang to me. That's a good slang. So,
No, it's not. Your meeting will end in 10 minutes. What?
uh,
Okay. That's weird. I'm gonna fix that. So we got, I guess, 10 minutes left to go then.
yeah.
I gotta fix that next I
Next
gotta
time.
yeah, I gotta finish that. So we got like probably we'll give it like 8 more minutes.
Oh yeah, no problem.
That's weird. So how many vendors, like local artists who are like selling their handmade stuff and everything, how many have you had so far apply?
This year, well, realistically, I have a set group of our locals, artists, crafters, the people that sell toys and stuff like that. I have a pretty good returning group. So I usually hit them up myself without even like putting anything out, and I'll just send them a contract because I know they usually want to come. But you know, probably 60 to 70% of our tables are local people coming in and doing their thing, and they do a wonderful job of art. And I got a girl, she'll mix crystals with steampunk and crystals with pop culture stuff. And I got a few anime artists, they're local. And
Nice.
plenty of people that do the quilting, making of the puppets or the characters, and the just I got a girl who does she paints Levi jackets, um or denim jackets, I should say, with paintings with pop culture icons on the back and all that stuff. So
Nice.
we got a good mixture of people, and some people that make cosplay items and stuff like that. So
Nice. Now, do you guys have like email or website for those who may want to apply for as a vendor for next year?
no website, but they can hit us up at sundialbridgecon@gmail.com. Sundialbridgecon@gmail.com. And email us and inquire about booths and being a vendor. You can do it obviously too on our Facebook and our Twitter. You can just
Or
PM
or Instagram?
I'm sorry, Instagram. I don't really use the Twitter very much anymore.
You're
Um,
fine. Links to all those will be in the description below for anyone wondering who wants to apply as a vendor or guest for next year.
yeah, and I encourage anybody who wants to go ahead and send a message. Um, I usually don't turn a lot of people down unless it just doesn't have to do with pop culture at all. I usually I don't let people in, they're want to sell nail polish or anything like that. But if you're dealing with pop culture or anything like that, then you're in.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes for this year. Again, I have family who's gonna be going down to tell me about it and take pictures, and I'm looking forward to going down next year and checking it out myself because Reading's my hometown, so I would love to check out the local con scene in California. I've only been down for like 2 cons in California for SACCon and their biggest con, Sac Anime. So going to a local convention from a town I used to live in as a kid would be nice to see and whatnot.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'd love to have you, and it'd be great to have your family here this year. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah. I guess also one thing I've been starting to ask, any advice you want to share for those who are thinking about wanting to start their own convention?
Um, it costs a lot. Don't think you're going to be able to just throw a convention that people are going to want to go to for free. Be prepared to spend some money, and just because you hear no, don't give up. Like I said, I hear no 50% of the time. and that's something you got to deal with. But when you hear those yeses, it's really awesome, and take advantage of those yeses. And sometimes those yeses will lead to other people, other artists, other creators, movie stars. You never know who they know or who's following their page, and they're like, "Oh, Chris Marinen's going to Sundial Bridge Comic Con. Maybe I should hit them up too." So just because somebody says no, that's okay. Take your yeses and make bigger things with them.
Right, I know, most definitely. Think that should do it. Anything else you'd like to add in real quick, since Zoom is basically telling me we only got like 5 minutes?
Oh, no, I appreciate this interview, and I appreciate everybody who listens, and keep nerding out. Let's keep this going. As long as we're here and we're doing it, it'll keep going and it'll keep staying popular. So
Eventually looking forward to seeing you guys at the Reading Convention Center.
yeah, for sure.
But no, I think the Red Lion's a pretty good start. It's a much bigger space, like you said, and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Again, Chris, thank you, and I think that should about wrap it up. Again, everyone, thank you for watching this next. Thank you for watching this segment for convention discussion. I'm here once again joined by Chris Munday of the Sundial Bridge Comic Con. Be sure to check that out in October. What date in October?
October 1st, Saturday, October 1st.
October 1st at the Red Line Inn in Redding, California. Again, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Thank you for listening. And until next time, thank you for watching.